Now, Governor Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi State has suspended quite a number of appointees for their inability to attend an important event. And mixed reactions have trailed this move. Some believe that this is a way to instill discipline in the appointees. Others feel that this, reaction could also, affect their morale, more or less, in the long run. How do you feel? Your first reaction to this bold step by the state governor?
It's good. It's a very bold step. It's not something that we see regularly these days. So, but it has to also be sustained. It's not just on them attending government functions. It's also on them to attending to their duties and carrying out the mandates of the state and also the mandate of the current government that is ruling them. Discipline is the citadel of productivity and improved capacity. If you can be disciplined in what you've called to do, it kind of gives you an entirely reorientation towards the vision of the man who is leading you. One thing about leadership is that if the man at the top, you understand, is smart, if the man at the top is moving with speed, if the man at the top is focused, you have no other vision, you have no other idea other than to align with what the man at the top is doing. So that's why it's good for us to have leaders who are disciplined, leaders who are visionary, leaders who are ready to set the pace, okay? So once he is doing that and it's sustained, even during campaign, it's sustained, you understand? I believe that it will not only enable the commissioners to be up and doing it, but it will now kind of make them understand what the governor of Ebonyi State is trying to achieve, his vision, and why he is driving all these, measures to ensure that they, get to that point where they want to get at the end of the day as a government.
Won't this hinder running of institutions in his government? Some parastatals are definitely going to be on halt, apparently. Won't this affect governance?
It will not affect governance in any way. Because if you read the report very well, you can see that a commissioner, he's under 1 month suspension, should hand over to the permanent secretary. Yeah. Actually, the permanent secretaries are the people that run state parastatals, okay? Commissioners are governmental appointees. They are answerable to the governor. You understand? It's like
bringing reports.
Yeah, overseeing. If you remove a commissioner, a parastatal like education can run itself, you understand, based on the mandate of a permanent secretary, because these are the people that carry out the day-to-day activity of every department of government office. So they are there. You have the secretaries, you have everybody supervisors. They are there making sure that salaries are paid. They are there making sure that workers are promoted. They are there making sure that the day-to-day business activities of the government is carried out effectively. Okay. Now, when you bring in a commissioner will now come in and sit like the representative of the governor and say, this is the vision of the governor. This is how we want this parastatal to be driven. So they follow it up. So if you remove them, I don't think it will slow anything. It's good because as they are coming back to office, they will now, their mind will be, recalibrated, and they will not know exactly what they are coming in there to do. I think it will not affect anything, but rather it will speed things up. Yeah, sometimes politics brings a lot of bureaucratic bottleneck, okay? But when you remove all these people and remove all of them and then work directly with the system, you find that things can be expedited to an extent. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I think the governor of Ebonyi State is on the right track. We want him to sustain this tempo, and we want him to, look at the number of people that he suspended, you understand? It's not just 1 or 2 persons. It cuts across the spectrum of every department, 82, including commissioners and heads of department and all the rest of them. So, but what I'm saying that let it not just be because of their inability to attend a government function. Right. Let them also.
I disagree with you, Barrister Chidi. Okay. I disagree on the grounds that their suspension will not affect their institutions.
Okay.
And I think so because sometimes when commissioners are appointed, they basically come from different local governments. They represent a section of people, so to speak. Don't you think that this move will affect the relationship of the state governor with those groups of individuals? Secondly, the working relationship between the governor and those commissioners or SAs, so to speak. And also running the different, because if you're saying will not affect what they're, then why are they there in the first place? I mean, wouldn't it make them redundant? Okay. How can we sit and say that the suspension would not affect the day-to-day running of the various ministries? Because whomever is taking over is in a certain position for a reason. Somebody was appointed as commissioner because that person was seen as capable of leading. So saying that the permanent secretary will take over, yes, but is it the same as whom is recognized as the commissioner? So I'm not saying it's wrong for them to have been suspended. What I'm saying is, how can we say that it's not going to affect anything?
Whatever you are saying now, by the action of the governor affecting anything, you understand? It's a product of it's a figment of your imagination. Okay, yes, you are the one imagining that it may affect anything. A commissioner is not a person that makes up an office on his own, okay? A commissioner has a deputy, a commissioner has a permanent secretary, a commissioner has other directors in that parasata that also are answerable to him. So if you, the key person, is removed, it's a chain of command. The next person below you takes over.
Then the question, let's get this. Yeah, I understand, but how? But then, are you saying there are no implications? How can you say there are no implications?
Let me tell you. If you understand how offices, more especially governmental offices, are run on a day-to-day basis, I have to be honest with you, and I beat my chest to say that this suspension is not going to affect the day-to-day activities of the government, but rather it will expedite it. You don't know the effect, the psychological effect, and the mental effect that someone who is superior has been suspended. Let me tell you, these are not people who were voted in. These were political appointees. Their boss have suspended them. You weren't voted in by the people. You were appointed by the governor to serve him. So he's your boss, and he has a target. He has something that he wants you to do. And you have been found wanting in all ramifications. You have been found wanting. And the measure that have been taken by the governor out of his infinite intelligence is to suspend you. That suspension should be hit to. And in his own understanding, as I'm talking to you now, there's no way it is going to affect. Let me tell you what, if you are working patriotically and you are serving your boss very well, there's no way it can affect the functions of the government. It can't.
All right, okay, so you've talked about it not affecting the day-to-day running, the processes. Fine, because other people will take over. And in fact,
you go to work,
let me finish.
They receive their salary this month.
Let me finish.
Nothing will stop.
So let me finish, right? Essentially, you're looking at a case where no fewer, in fact, 85 is not even, several commissioners and appointees have been suspended. What implication is it going to have on the image of the government as a whole of Ebonyi State, that no fewer than 85, much more than 85 of your appointees have been suspended? What does it say about the quality of people that you have constituted to be a part of your administration? Yeah. How can you say that this has not impacted in any way?
Let me answer your question directly. The 85 persons who have been suspended,
no fewer than
in
several.
The history of Ebonyi State, such thing has not happened before. A governor can wake up and say, this is how I want to do my thing. It's a new law, it's a new regulation, it's a new rule. No governor has done it before, but this is how I want my thing to. That's why he is the governor of Ebonyi State.
You're not answering my Barrister Chidi. You're not answering my question. No, you are not. You are skirting around it.
You are expecting.
No, what does it say about the kind of people that are making up the cabinet? The kind of people. How can you dispense of them so easily for 1 month? And that's not the problem. Like I painted very clearly. I don't have any issue with them being suspended for wrongdoing, for not attending the event. But the question is, if so many of them have been suspended, I mean, what does it say about the quality of people working with their Ebonyi State governor?
It has nothing to do with their scorecard or performance or what they have achieved.
How can you say that?
It's a suspension.
But they erred. That's the reason why they're suspended.
Yeah, they erred.
But I want to ask a question.
Yeah, they erred.
Is this more of like a political message to stamp control?
If a political message to stamp control, I don't know how you can term it a political message. I think it's a political message to stipulate a measure. You understand? This is the standard I want to work with. Let me tell you one thing. There is no political or economic measure that does not bring criticisms. You understand? One can really align with Natalie that this goes a long way to show that you have employed and you have brought in people of low quality or people who don't have capacity to work with me. But I totally disagree with her, because this is a measure to meet up a standard. Because if you now align with the governor, in the next few months, the report of each of these departments will improve. He is going somewhere. It's cheaper to work with what you have, you discipline them, put them on the right shape, than to fire them and bring in other people. If I'm the governor, this is exactly what I will do. I will even suspend more people. Okay, I will use suspension.
In politics, this could alter
What?
so many things, right?
Like?
Don't you think that this could put friction between the governor and these individuals? Because then at the back of
political appointees,
at the back
not
of
members of the house who are voted in,
at the back
not
of this,
senators,
at the back
not
of this,
members of the house.
Barrister Chidi, at the back of these
I want you to have that at
individuals,
the back of
I know,
political appointees.
but then again, at the back of these individuals, those people we are calling might be supporting one or two people right there. Don't you think it's going to bring some political friction?
Whatever political friction that this suspension will bring, I think is the right one. Let there be a political friction, okay, between you, the commissioner, and your boss, the governor. When he calls you, don't answer again. When he gives you instruction, disobey it. So let's see the end product of this political friction, okay? Because in a working relationship, for someone to work for someone, okay, you must learn how to obey. You must come in line with the man's vision. You can't be a commissioner under a governor and you're running riot. You understand? So whatever political friction it will bring, it is called for. It is either you make your case open to Mr. Governor that you are a tirade or you don't want to work with him, or you align with the governor and now improve your record and do better. So we are not afraid. Look, governance, people shouldn't be afraid of friction. Friction realigns people into realigned offices. It makes people to understand who is the boss, who calls the shot here, and what are we here to do, okay? So if you want to leave a kind of a lackadaisical environment where people can come and do whatever, political appointees, not those who are elected by the electorate, political appointees who are answerable to their governor, who is their boss. You understand? So I don't see any kind of friction or any kind of delay that this will bring. But I think it will make every governmental officer in Ebonyi State to sit up and to know that your office is not a kind of a rubber seal and sign and seal. That if you don't carry out your boss instructions, that you will be suspended. You should even tell them that if you're suspended 2 times, you should be fired. This is what we want. This is what we want.
Is this penalty rather not too harsh?
It's not too harsh. It's not too harsh.
Barrister Chidi, it's not, nobody is saying that this is harsh. Like I said, nobody is against the suspension. If you err, you will be suspended. I will suspend someone for erring if it's that bad, right? Now, the question I'm asking, which you're still yet to answer, is no, you have not. You have taken it back to right and wrong.
Probably you want a particular answer.
Nope.
Maybe if I don't give you that one, I've not answered you.
No, Barrister Chidi, you don't want to let me speak.
Tell me the answer.
You don't want to let me speak because you're running away. You're running away. Okay. So the question is, the mass suspension. This is not a reshuffle. This is not 1 or 2 scapegoats. This is quite a number, nearing 100 appointees suspended. I ask you again, what does this say about the cabinet, the kind of appointees in that government? Because when we saw, I think it was President Bola Tinubu who visited Enugu State, he said, I think he commended the state government for having a good team, right? If I remember clearly, yes, that was around the 4th of January. You're coming now to see a state where so many appointees have been suspended. You've had a case where the former commissioner for information has been moved to another ministry, and that same former commissioner is also on the suspension list.
Is it Jude?
Engineer Jude Okpo? Yes. Yeah. I'm asking you this question, and you're taking it back to right and wrong.
I'm not.
You are. So give me an answer that I can hold on to, something I can say that, okay, this is where Barrister Chidi stands on this matter. Does it say that the council of the Ebonyi State government is ready to live up to the expectations of the Ebonyi State governor?
Yes, it is. It's only a man who reshuffles, suspends, fires, and rehires is a man who's going somewhere. But if you see a man who hires people and he doesn't discipline them, he doesn't want to achieve anything at the end of the day. After 8 years, he will put another person who will cover his loopholes and he will carry out the state treasury and run away. If you see a man who can suspend people, no matter the number of people you have suspended, The number should not be a deterrent here. The most important thing is that what he wants to achieve. So to me, it does not say anything bad against the governor or the government. It does not paint their image bad. And then when you talk about the quality of people he has suspended, it doesn't show that they are incompetent. He has a standard for them. You may not hear this. If the governor did not suspend them, it would not have been in news. But he has gone out to suspend them to show that they have fallen short of his own expectation. It's only a man who wants you to do better that can give you query, suspend you, and sanction you for you to get better. So the hurdles we go through in our political career, in our economic career, to get people right is never a shame on anybody. So I don't agree with you that did he hire angels? He hired fellow human beings like you. Are you perfect? You're not perfect. So in your ability to get something done, you can wake up one day and change your character. You can fire up your staff. You understand? This is my vision. This is how I want you guys to work as from now onwards. So we can't come here to criticize the activities of the governor of Ebonyi State. I think he is on the right track. What I'm saying that let this tempo be sustained and let it also affect their output at the end of every month. It will make the whole people working for the government to sit up. Everybody should know that it's no more a walk in the park or a roller coaster ride. You have to do exactly what the government or the governor wants you to do. I think it tells something good about the governor and not something bad.
Okay, now before we end this conversation and head on to, the man on the street, because I'm sure people are waiting to see that Super Falcon's reaction. Now, the suspension was due to the officials not attending an event which the governor thought was paramount, and their refusal to do this basically showed a serious breach of official duty. Do you think that there could have been some kind of miscommunication or misinformation that such a huge number missed out on that event?
I don't have the intel.
Is it possible? Because if it's that important and all these individuals missed it.
For them to have been suspended, which means that there was properly communicated. They are aware. They are commissioners. I wonder why they will not be aware for governmental function. They are commissioners. You understand? And as a commissioner, the work of a commissioner is not a private work. It's a government work. So for them to have been suspended, I think, in my own judgment and opinion, they must have been aware of the existence of that function or that meeting that the governor suspended them for. Yeah.
Before, but let's talk about public perceptions right now regarding the gesture of the governor of Ebonyi State, Governor Francis Nwifuru. Would the populace see him as an authoritarian leader?
I don't think so, because the measures he took, he did not fire them, he did not suspend their salary.
Yeah, but he did something.
He suspended their salaries, yes, for 1 month. For 1 month without pay, they'll be at home and without pay. Those are the terms of the suspension.
I didn't see without pay.
No, but that's what it is.
To be corrected. No, what I saw
I'm correcting you right now.
Is a 1 month suspension.
Without pay.
Now, saying authoritarian, no, I can't really stretch it to that limit because he hasn't done anything unconstitutional. You understand? It's only when you have done something unconstitutional that I can say that you are an authoritarian. What he has done is within his limits, is within his powers, is within his constitutional ability to do. So I can't bring in that, but it will definitely send a message across his followers, his core group, or rather those who voted him into power, that he is serious about a particular thing. Okay, probably he still want to work with these same people. Someone would have fired them. If he has fired them, in my own opinion, I would have said that no, it's a little bit out of the way. Just one function and you fire the person. But one function, absence, suspension. I think is a message that is very, very serious. But it does not get to the point of saying that the governor is an authoritarian.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Chidi, for joining us this morning. And we'll continue to watch and see and see whether they change their behavior when they are restored. Thank you, Barrister Chidi.
Thanks, man.
Always great arguing with you.
Yeah, I don't argue with you. I learn.
And I learn as well.
Yeah.